original people.
Most of the times we think that when you don't have the problem, you are not part of it, or that you don't have to be involved. We simply ignore it because we think that isn't something that affects us. For example, me, that thanks to my parents, I never had the problem of hunger, and for that I never stop and think about if someone was going through that problem. And that's what happened in all the world, not just me. When we go out of the house and we see people asking for money or food, we even think that is something annoying and we ignore them, but we don't realize that that's something that shouldn't be happening in our world. And what's even worse is that we are not doing anything for stop it. If we truly want to change our world, we have to start changing ourselves and our way to see the things and stop thinking that isn't something of our business, because of course it is. Hunger is strongly interconnected with poverty. People living in poverty frequently face household food insecurity, use inappropriate care practices, and live in an unsafe environment that have low access to quality water, sanitation, hygiene, and an inadequate access or availability to health services and education. There's many causes of hunger in the world, but if we just care of one, we could make an improvement. Weather change that even if we don't notice also affects climate change that is affecting food production and water supply significantly. This is the greatest environmental change the world has ever faced. Feeding everyone in the world will be challenging enough without adding to that the climate change. The world population is expected to increase to more than 9 billion by the end of the century. Although only a small increase in available arable land is expected. Agricultural production will need to increase by 70% in order to keep pace with population growth. We can restore all the damage that we already did, but we can control it and maybe reduce it. This will help in a lot of problems around the world. As we all know, the COVID-19 has affected us in all possible ways, even mentally, but also has contributed to the hunger around the world. Thanks to the pandemic, a lot of people has lost their job and all the ways to win economic support for their families. The unemployment was the first problem that affects because of the lack of money or the less entry of supplies. INEGI record that 2.1 million people lost their jobs but were classified as economically inactive population. It revealed that 12.5 million people lost their jobs in April, and just in that month because of the pandemic. Forbes indicate that the unemployment in Mexico reached almost 25% of the entire population of the country. This thanks to the COVID-19. Imagine now that this average is just of the people that works. In a family, Usually, just one person works per family, so he or she feeds the entire family. There are more people with hunger that just we can't imagine. There's a lot of ways to help this cause and also encouraging more people to do it, like food donations or government intervention. That is the first big step to reduce the lack of food in the houses, and also providing agricultural support that is need for agricultural training, like food donations or government intervention. That this is the first big step to reduce the lack of food in the houses, and also providing agricultural support that is need for agricultural training. These are just some of the ways in which we can help, so let's do it. These are just some of the ways in which we can help, so let's do it. Now just think, this world is where you, me, and our future generations are we going to live. We need to help.